Are you stuck in a repetitive loop in life and feel like you can't get out? Maybe you keep ending up in the same types of relationships and can't find your ideal partner, and you've labeled yourself a magnet for this type of behavior. Maybe you keep getting stuck in the same underpaid types of working situations where you never feel appreciated or fairly compensated for the hard work you do. Hello, and welcome to this safe space. I'm your host, Heather, and on this podcast, I share with you ways to move past trauma, anxiety, and stress so you can reclaim your energy and live a more peaceful inner life. On this episode, I want to address looping. I want you to really sit with, what is it that keeps coming up in your life that keeps hurting you? Are you experiencing something that repeats over and over? Maybe it's that you keep attracting the same types of friendships, same types of partners, and there's something about each one of those connections that's very familiar, but not wanted, and it always hurts you. So I would love for you to grab a piece of paper or a journal if you want to really go deep into this episode with me, and write it down. What keeps showing up in your life that you're ready to let go of, you're ready to move past, but you kind of just feel like whatever you do, you can't move past it. It keeps showing up in the same similar way. You see it now, and you're done repeating it. Now, write in detail what it is about this that you dislike. What kind of hurt is it that keeps repeating? What kinds of feelings are constantly present in this situation? If this is partnerships or friendships, how are they treating you? Is it a specific way they talk to you? What's the feeling that keeps coming up for you in these repetitions? Is it something they don't do but you wished they did? Once you have it all written out, I want you to ask yourself, why do you think you keep attracting this? And obviously, if you're here, you may not know what it is. So I'm going to say something that might trigger some of you, but we attract what we believe we deserve. And sometimes this is on a subconscious level. So as we start going into this journey of inwardness, instead of blaming things outside of ourselves, we want to realize that our energy attracts the people, the opportunities, and the circumstances that are in our life. So what about you is allowing this situation to repeat itself in your life? You attract the bad boy, the one that doesn't really care about you. They may talk the big talk, but their actions never show you that they care about you. But you're attracted to that, and you stay in these relationships even when you're hurting. Why do you stay? What is it about these relationships that you feel like you should stay? Is this where you feel safe? Like you feel more secure being in this relationship than maybe not having anybody? Do you feel like that's what you are worthy of? Because once you've hit that rock bottom of realizing this is something that keeps repeating and you don't want it anymore, the realization of this is the first step. And it's a beautiful step to realize it, because now that you've shed light on it, we can start to analyze it, and we can start to figure out, what is it that we believe to be true that's attracting this? So if your partner is making you feel not worthy of love, for instance, ask yourself, when in your life did you get that same message? Think back to your childhood, maybe grade school, high school. Going back to childhood, did your parents make you feel unloved? That could be a really big one in terms of feeling worthy of love. Was there a situation that happened that your little child brain, that was a sponge at the time, took as a sign that you were not lovable? Therefore, you emit that energy out into the world of not being lovable. Then the people that are not going to be able to love you, those are the people that are going to come in and reflect that subconscious belief back to you. It really all comes down to belief systems. Something happened in your childhood or your life You experienced something, you witnessed something, your little brain depicted something, interpreted something as the things that are showing up in your life repetitively. I'll give you an example. So I was dating someone a long time ago that was always canceling plans. Like always. He never spent enough quality time with me, and it really hurt. But once I hit a rock bottom emotionally with this person, I realized that my dad did the same thing. My dad would make promises to hang out with me or to do something with me, and he never followed through. Therefore, what got wired into my brain was that I wasn't worthy of his time. And then when I grew up, that program of I'm not worthy of quality time is running on autopilot. And our subconscious mind wants to keep us safe. Therefore, if we believe something, even if it's a subconscious belief that we are not currently consciously aware of, when we believe it to be true, what our unconscious mind does is try to find things in our current world that back up this belief system. It wants to reassure that what we believe is really true. So that's why you'll keep experiencing this loop until you figure out what belief is running and reprogram that belief. So you're going to attract partners in your life that are going to support this belief system. And this works with literally every belief system that there is. This could be relationships, it could be jobs, it could be money. If your situation revolves around never having enough money to pay your bills or struggling really, really hard, you really want to stop, and instead of blaming outside forces, external life situations, or circumstances that keep coming up, I want you to really think back. There's a belief system running that basically says you're not worthy of it, or that there's never enough. Think back to your parents or guardians or whoever raised you, especially for the first 7 years of your life. This is when your brain is in sponge mode. I believe it's in theta mode, where basically you are just picking stuff up. You're forming your belief of the world from obviously like the people that are closest to you. So your parents, your siblings, like there's going to be a lot around that your brain is going to be soaking up. So what were their beliefs around this area of life? What were their actions showing you about this topic? Sometimes it's not even something they verbally said, but when you're a child, you can pick up on their energy. So if every time they talked about money, maybe they didn't specifically say, oh, I'm not worthy of it, but maybe they had this really tense reaction of stress that you picked up on, and you related like, oh, money is stressful, like money is never there. So what were their actions showing you about this topic? What did you take in from them that then turned into a belief? Guaranteed there's something from your past that programmed that belief. And we aren't doing this to blame anyone. We're not trying to figure this out to like put blame on anything. We're doing this so that we can see clearly, so that we can answer, why does this keep happening in our life? Firstly, we want to ask, what am I believing to be true that would cause this to repeat in my life? So going back to my situation, I must be believing that I'm not worthy of time I crave with a person, right? Because if I believed I was worthy of this, I wouldn't have put up with this behavior anymore. I would have broke up with the person a long time ago. Then we want to figure out, where did this belief stem from? This may be easy for some to figure out, but if you're having trouble finding the cause of this belief, like try looking back at situations that had a big emotional impact on you and try to figure out when you felt this for the first time. For example, when was the first time that I felt I didn't deserve love or quality time or enough money to pay my bills? Really dive deep into this. And then once you figure this out, once you realize where this belief system came from, celebrate this. Celebrate the fact that you figured it out because you found the root cause of this belief system. And if you don't think that that is the root cause, Or if you thought of a situation that reinforced that belief, but you don't think it was the root cause, I want you to start asking more questions to try to find the root. Getting curious and asking why has solved so many of my conundrums related to limiting belief systems on this journey I've been going on of self-transformation and getting rid of limiting beliefs that do not serve me anymore. So try asking why. Why did I take this as truth? And some things you will have picked up later as you're growing up. Sometimes a seed of a belief is planted early on, and then situations will happen later that fertilize this seed, and now the seed is growing deeper roots. So these situations can be like reassurance in the subconscious that the belief was true, right? Which can be tricky to decipher because sometimes we interpreted a situation a certain way and we took it on as truth. I'll share an example of this. When I was about 9 years old, we were living in Nicaragua and my parents had a big stack of centavos. So down there, their cents were bills, not coins. And one day I discovered this stack of bills and they were the size of Monopoly money. And my little kid brain went, ooh, I want to play with some of this. It was very innocent. It reminded me of Monopoly money. But one of my parents came in and caught me and got really angry and accused me of stealing and yelled at me. So on the outside, yeah, don't steal, life lesson, right? But from my perspective as the child who got excited to play with these little bills, I had no malintent and then got accused of stealing and got yelled at. This became a belief that I was not worthy of having money. I was not worthy of playing with money. So the situation was, I just wanted to play. An authority figure came in and used a tone of voice and made me feel like I was being bad, I was doing something wrong. Therefore, my little brain took it as, if I want to have fun and play with money, that's wrong, that's bad. And imagine what kind of repercussions that has as you grow older, right? So going back to these situations that caused a big emotional response can help you maybe get some answers to why you are the way you are today, why you attract what you attract. And something that can help clarify what the belief is to just talk about these situations out loud. Talk about what was going on in your own head, what were your intentions in these situations, and what was the response you got from the other person involved. Sometimes we can remember the situation in our head but can't make certain connections. It's like, have you ever been trying to figure something out and you're debating about it in your head, and the moment you talk to a friend about it, you instantly solve it or get clarity without them saying anything, just from you saying it out loud? This can help you find some links to belief systems that are running in the background. So writing down your point of view in the situation, what was your little person brain thinking, feeling about something, and then write down the response you ended up getting. And from there, it's easy to see how a belief was formed. So now comes the solution. Now that we are aware of the belief system running in the background, how do we get rid of it? So the simple answer is we rewire our brain to a new, better belief. But how do we do this? So there are a few ways that we can do this, and I'm going to share with you what I personally do that has worked for me, because we've gotten to the root cause of the belief system. Going back and working with our past self, our inner child that took on this belief, has been the fastest way that I have been able to change a negative belief and really heal the past trauma around it. So I want to guide you through a little visualization meditation to help you do this. But please do not listen to this meditation while driving. If you need to press pause and come back to it when you have time to block out the world and have some you time, please do so now. Make sure you are sitting or lying down in a comfortable position. Do not listen to this while driving. Make sure you can take this time for yourself. Now take a deep breath in through your nose. And when you exhale, feel the muscles in your body just relax. And close your eyes as soon as you feel ready. We're going to take 3 more deep breaths in through your nose. And as you exhale through your mouth, sink deeper into this relaxation. And again, inhale, feeling your breath go down into your belly. And as you exhale, just relax. Last one, deep breath in. And exhale and relax. And now from this calm, safe space, I want you to remember a past situation, one that you wrote down earlier, one that feels like the root cause of your current circumstances. And I want you to visualize your now safe self floating up and into this scenario. Nothing in this space can harm you. You're simply an observer. Can you see your past self? What is happening in this situation? Who is there with you? What was being said or done in this situation? Can you remember what you were feeling? What did you take on as truth from this situation? Can you see how easy it was to interpret it this way with your little person perspective? And as the observer now looking in, can you see how this was not really true? I want you to float into this past situation and go over to your past self. What would you have rather believed in this moment? How would you have preferred for the situation to play out? Can you show this to your past self now? Did you need to be reassured that you matter, that you are deeply loved, that you are deserving of what you want? I want you to give your past self what you needed in that moment, but did not receive. Visualize yourself being that for your past self now. What would that have looked like? What would your belief about this situation have been if this was how it played out? Show your past self that this new belief is true. And if your past self needs anything else, do they need a hug, a smile, reassurance? Go ahead and give that to them now. And once your past self is ready, I want you to visualize yourself floating back out of the situation and floating back into the room you are in. Feel the chair or the bed beneath you. Wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes. How do you feel now? Journaling about anything that came up during this meditation can be helpful. What is the new belief that you are developing? Repetition is key for rewiring in a new belief system. The old belief has been there for so long that is going to be the default thought process or feeling that will arise when situations trigger in this area. So now that you are clear on what you would rather believe, I want you to pay close attention to when this comes up. And instead of going into your default, I want you to stop yourself and look for reasons why your new belief is true. Because your brain did this with the negative belief, we need to be conscious about doing this with the new one. And another important thing here, especially if you believe you're not worthy of love, you probably don't love yourself yet either. I know that that was the case with myself. And if you know that this is you, or even if you're curious, if you don't know if you love yourself, I wrote a book that goes way deeper into this topic. It's called Reconnecting with Self. It was written for people coming out of abusive relationships, but I teach you how to start developing a relationship with yourself. We go through boundary setting. I show you ways that you can easily develop trust and gratitude towards yourself. And we dive deeper into figuring out the why in why we are the way we are. I wanted it to be accessible for everyone, so it's set up as a pay what you want, starting at $1.99. I'll leave the link in the description. It's a 60-page ebook with tons of journal prompts for going deeper into each topic. So if this is an area that you really want to work with deeper, I highly recommend checking the book out. And I also recommend listening to this meditation more than once to really embed this new scenario and to help you start healing from the situation. Also, the more you start doing this, and if you're really serious about getting rid of all these limiting beliefs, more than likely there's more than just one belief system. So I decided to post just this meditation, like a copy, like a downloadable copy that you can get for free on my website. So I'll leave the link in the description so you can download it to your phone for easy access. I hope this episode helped you. If you're still here with me, consider subscribing and liking this podcast, as this will really help get it out to more people that can benefit from it. Thank you for listening, sending everyone love, and I'll see you on the next podcast.